Hi everybody, quick unboxing video of an ANI R160. Now I needed another R150 in 1.2 and it would appear they've stopped making the R150 and replaced it with the R160. I think they did a similar thing with the F, which is the full size gun. They made an F150 and they changed that to an F160. So I've literally not opened the box yet, so I thought I'd switch the camera on, stick it on my head and run through, see what we got and compare it to the R150. So let's open it up. Okay. Doesn't want to come out, does it? R160Q. That's just where it's rubbed on the box. I actually box it differently on the R150s. They're in a separate little compartment, which is probably better because it stops it getting rubbed about, but yeah, it looks okay. So what you get with it is spanner. Looks exactly the same as the old one. You used to get a toothbrush with the old one. Now you'll get it, well I say toothbrush, obviously it's not a toothbrush, but it looks like a toothbrush. You get this cleaning brush with it instead, by the looks of it. You get the mini brushes, which are designed to go through the eyes at the front here, or not through, into, so that you can clear those out, and through the tip. We'll have a look at it in a second anyway, but there's air holes around the tip. Let's do it now. These bits here, so if these get clogged, you can clear those out. So that's what those are for. So you get the gum, you get the cup. Now this is a newer style cup. It's actually a copy, I think, of the Iwata cup. It's certainly the same size and height, etc. And a couple of the R150s I've got, you know, because I've got different tip sizes, they come with this cup. Now I prefer the original ANI R150 cup, which is where are we? That's the replacement one. Where's the proper cup? There it is. I prefer that one, and the reason I prefer that one is it's actually shorter. If you line those two up, it's not going to work, is it, with the camera on my head, but if you line those two up there, you see where that being level, you've got a good another what, 20 mil, 25 mil, so an inch on top, and it gets in the way when you're doing smaller things, which is what I use a minigun for. That pot gets in the way, so I prefer the original pot, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. And once you get used to this, what people used to complain about on the original pot, the pot that's not sitting on right, once you get used to, if you've seen my other videos, just back it off. So put it on, back it off, and when it stops, just put it forward and it'll be level and it's absolutely fine. So let's put that back so we don't get confused what is with what. So yeah, so you get the cup, you get the gum. Now the most obvious difference with the gun is the finish isn't as good, certainly isn't as good. That's much better finish. That's much duller finish. Now it would probably polish up, but why would you polish it up when it should be polished in the first place? But yeah, I suppose that's progress. Often with these things, progress is backwards, isn't it? Now this looks like exactly the same control knob. It is exactly the same control knob, isn't it? So that hasn't changed. As I say, you've got this lump here, which effectively was shaven off there, and they've done the same with the F150 versus the F160. The F160's got this raised lump, and I don't know why. I don't know, you know, what it's there for. If anybody knows, then give us a shout. But otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. As I say, it's not as shiny, but you know, is that important? I don't know really. But certainly the dimensions look exactly the same. Let's have a look at the end cap. So the end cap's got a sealing ring on it, which I'm pretty sure these don't, if I remember rightly, but maybe they have and I haven't noticed it. No, they don't, because that actually comes apart as two separate pieces, and that's got a sealing ring on it. Now I don't like that, and the reason I don't like that is because it's just something else to go wrong or replace. This is just purely a machine fit, so it's machined that well that it fits good. You know, you don't get any leakages or anything. So the fact that this needs a washer, I don't know whether that's a good sign or a bad sign. It can't be good really, I guess, because if it was machined properly it wouldn't need the washer, but it's there. I mean, a lot of, you know, the SRIs, GTI Pro Lights, the Vilbis or Technical, as you know, in the States, they have those as well. So, you know, maybe I'm just being, and the, you know, Waters, most of them have those, so maybe I'm just being a bit overcritical. It's just that when you come from something that didn't need it to work well and then you put something on there, it makes you question why you need it. But anyway, you do, obviously. So this looks like a different, yeah, is that a different size? Yeah, it is bigger, so it's not the same spanner. Forget what I said about it being the same spanner. It looks exactly the same, but this is bigger. The distance from here to here, the size of the nut is about another 2 mil, I would guess. As you can see, that's there. Yeah, about 2 millimeters. Whereas that fits on that, which means that the tips aren't going to be interchangeable as well, I think. So let's see. Now on the Spray Guns Direct website, which is, oh, you should always take your needle out. Naughty, naughty. Always take your needle out before you take the tip off, because you know, once is okay, but if you keep doing it, as you're turning that, you can damage the tip and wear it, and then you get bypass of fluid. So there's your tip, which isn't the same as that at all, is it? Similar design. Same design, in fact. Now that hole looks bigger. That's a 1.2. That definitely looks bigger than that. This is a 1.2 as well. Definitely looks a bigger hole. Same idea with the sealing ring. I don't know whether it's the same sealing ring. Let's get a another. So this is the spanner that comes with the R150. Doing it again. That's what happens when you've got a video on, you see. You keep thinking, well, I'll save time, and you forget the basics of looking after your equipment. So the diameter of that is the same, although that is recessed in, isn't it? You can see that I don't know if you can see this, but one sits flush and the other one sits proud, this one being proud, which is the 150. So I'm assuming that these are the same, except that is located in, so it's within a recess. So I'm guessing you can use that for this to seal it, but it just recesses in, if you can understand me. That nylon bush there recesses in. So that's what I'm thinking. The thread is the same, I'm guessing. Yeah, so the thread's the same. So I'm guessing that is the same part. So the service part for the F150 will fit the F160 by the looks of it. And I'm guessing the other things will as well. I.e., that's exactly the same. The lever's slightly different. Actually, probably better than the new lever. Hasn't got as much travel, but it's easier to get hold of. This one, when it's over in that position, you really need a thumb on it to bring it round, whereas with that you should be able to do it while you've got your one hand on the gun. So you can have the gun like that, maybe holding whatever you're doing, and adjust it like that. So I quite like that. That's quite good. And the screw to remove this is visible, whereas on the other one it's actually right underneath here, right inside here. So that's quite a good idea. So I like that. As I say, I don't know about that bump, but yeah. So I think that's all I've covered really for an unboxing. So they're not interchangeable. That's different. Or is that the same? No, that is the same. So the outside, that's the cap from the R150, and that's the cap from the R160. That's deceiving, isn't it? Because that cap looks smaller than that one. if you would say they're smaller, but they're actually the same, because that's fitting on here just as well as the other one did. Yeah, so it is the same size, and that will fit on the R150 presumably. Yeah, so I don't know whether they'll work in practice, because you need to obviously see whether they leak and whether they spray properly. But I hope that's been of help to somebody. If they're thinking of, you know, oh, I'll buy an R150, and it turns out you can't buy the R150s, that's what you get with the R160. I'll try and rig up a little test to just check the spray pattern, see if the 1.2 performs the same as the R150 1.2 in the size of the fan, etc. Alright then, thanks very much, cheers.